Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu had a meeting yesterday. They came out of it and a press conference was held. Trump's decline is so steep that he is no longer able to keep it together for even 10 minutes here. Trump, with another foreign policy disaster, asked, did you and the prime minister discuss the West Bank? Of course, the West Bank, one of the Palestinian territories that is part of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. From Trump's answer, I don't think he knows the first thing about the West Bank.
Talk about that.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Mr. President, did you have a message for the Prime Minister about the West Bank? And are you at all concerned that settler violence, Israeli settler violence, could be undermining the peace plan?
Well, we have had a discussion, big discussion for a long time on the West Bank. And I wouldn't say
we're doing lots of talking and thinking about the West Bank.
We agree on the West Bank 100%, but we will come to a conclusion on the West Bank.
If I could ask, what is the disagreement?
Well, I don't want to do that. It'll be announced at an appropriate time. But he will do the right thing. I know that. I know him very well. He will do the right thing. Yeah, talk about that.
Mr. President?
All right. So my takeaway from that is Trump has no clue about the West Bank. He has no real feelings about the West Bank. He doesn't understand the West Bank and is probably sort of confused about the way in which the West Bank and Gaza sort of intersect here. Trump was asked, are you worried about China doing naval exercises around Taiwan? And Trump goes, I don't think it's going to happen, and I'm not worried about anything. Spoken like a true diplomat.
Naval exercises basically to test encircling Taiwan. Can you explain to us what your knowledge is of that? What do you think about that? Have you had any discussions with China?
Well, I have a great relationship with President Xi, and he hasn't told me anything about it. I certainly have seen it, but he hasn't told me anything about it, and I don't believe he's going to be doing it. No, nothing worries me. Nothing.
There it is. Trump sort of knows about it, doesn't think it's going to happen, even though it's already happening. And he's definitely not worried about it. Really the guy you want to be making foreign policy decisions when woken up at 3 a.m. Although I guess Trump's up all night a lot of the time. So maybe it's better that he doesn't have to be woken up at 3 a.m. You just say, sir, could you take a break from posting to Truth Social for a second? We have an emergency. Trump bringing up the ballroom, which is at a total standstill after Donald Trump demolished part of the White House. The construction project is at a standstill. Trump fired the architect. It's a globally and historically humiliating mess. Trump says something weird. He says, we're going to be doing an inauguration in the new ballroom. What inauguration is Trump planning exactly?
Biden reappointed him. It's too bad. You would have thought he wouldn't have done that. But he's an absolute fool who's building a new Federal Reserve, or he's doing a renovation of a building. Maybe he's up to $4.1 billion to do a renovation of a few very small buildings. It's the highest price in the history of construction. He's spending more money than any building has ever spent per square foot on the renovation of, as an example, I'm doing a magnificent, big, beautiful ballroom that the country has wanted, the White House has wanted for 150 years. It's a massive job, and it's a tiny fraction of that number. And we're under budget and ahead of schedule. Now it's...
None of that is true. The budget is doubled, and the project is at a standstill.
It's bigger than I told you. After realizing we're going to do the inauguration in that building, it's got all bulletproof glass. It's got all drone, they call it drone-free roof. The drones won't touch it. It's a big, beautiful, safe building.
Yeah, extraordinarily safe, extraordinarily big. What inauguration is Trump planning in this ballroom? Because putting aside for a second that I don't know that the inaugurations are going to be done in the ballroom, I don't know that the ballroom's ever going to be built. And if it is, it's increasingly seeming like it's not going to be done by the time of the next inauguration. So as usual, Trump a little bit disconnected from reality. The topic of Iran comes up. And what's fascinating about this is as we go through, what about what's happening with Russia? What about the West Bank? What about China and Taiwan? Trump is unable to get beyond just a superficial statement on any of these issues. And I think it's pretty clear he doesn't know anything about any of these issues. Trump asked about Iran, and he's just sort of like, I don't know, I'm kind of hearing some stuff.
Another war with Iran.
Well, I don't want to say that, but Iran may be behaving badly. It hasn't been confirmed, but if it's confirmed, look, they know the consequences. Consequences will be very powerful, maybe more powerful than the last time. Yeah. And Iran should have made a deal the last time. I gave them the option. I said, you can make a deal. Do it. I told them, do it. And they didn't believe me. Now they believe me.
Do you have evidence that Iran is behaving badly, and what do you mean by that?
This is just what we hear, but usually...
I'm just kind of hearing rumors. Trump has access to arguably the best intelligence in the world, although he often says the intelligence agencies suck. But Trump has access to the best intelligence agencies in the world. And he's asked about evidence for some of the claims he's making. And he goes, yeah, we're just kind of hearing this stuff. Evidence, schmevidence, I don't really know. Finally, the topic of the Fed chairman, Jerome Powell, came up. And Trump's latest is he's thinking of suing Jerome Powell for incompetence. Something tells me that's not going to happen.
It had no impact. We won all 7 swing states. But no. We're thinking about bringing a suit against Powell for incompetence.
Yeah.
Because think of it, these aren't outstanding buildings. These are small buildings. He said $4 billion more. It's going to end up costing more than $4 billion. $4 billion. It's the highest price of construction. Again, Democrats. Highest.
Now, let me explain this to you. Trump's ballroom, which is at a standstill, has doubled in budget, but it's going swimmingly. Trump misunderstands that this Fed construction project is insanely over budget, even though Jerome Powell has explained it's not. And he believes that that may be a reason to personally sue Jerome Powell as if he's, as an individual, involved in running that project. Delusional, cuckoo for Cocoa Puff stuff. And Trump mentions he still might fire Jerome Powell.
And will you ask Jay Powell to resign from the board entirely?
Be a favor to the nation. But he's come close. I mean, we're getting pretty close. I would fire him. I'd love to fire him, but we're so close, maybe I still might.
There you go. Really treating the Federal Reserve as an episode of The Apprentice. I might fire him. I might not. I might replace him. I might make him, do some kind of physical obstacle course to see if he's really up to the task, or who knows, maybe I'll set him up in some kind of televised sting operation. I mean, it's all just a reality show for Trump. And if there's any real takeaway here from the Mar-a-Lago being the site of the meeting with Zelensky and of the meeting with Bibi Netanyahu and all of these press conferences, it's that for Trump, it's all kind of the same. Mar-a-Lago and the Oval Office, it's all kind of the same. Cameras show up and Trump gets to say things. Firing people on The Apprentice or firing people in real life. It's all kind of the same. It's all just a show for Donald Trump, and he wants to be the host of the show. Now, incredibly, Benjamin Netanyahu is participating in the show in a disgusting way, and we're going to talk about that after the break. Make sure you're getting my daily Substack, by the way. Sign up for it for free. I'm selling you nothing but a good time. Substack.davidpakman.com. Many VPNs claim they don't track you. Only one can prove it, and that's our sponsor, Private Internet Access. Private Internet Access is the only VPN with multiple real-world court cases showing that when law enforcement requests user logs, they don't have them because they don't log anything. Their software is open source. Anyone can inspect the code and confirm that. There's transparency that you do not normally see in the VPN industry. You can use one account on unlimited devices, phone, laptop, tablet, even your router. Works with Netflix and YouTube and streaming services worldwide. It is like a secure tunnel between you and the internet that nobody can see into. I've been using PIA for years. It's one of the few privacy or security tools I truly trust. Get 83% off, just $203 a month, plus 4 extra months free at piavpn.com/Pakman. The link is in the description.